Now, before we get started, I would really love it if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is The Last Rewind. Be sure and like, subscribe, and leave your comments at the bottom of this video, which we're about to get into. What we're about to talk about. If anyone notices, there's a bit of a blue tinge in this room. It's because I'm having a funeral. I think I've waited a little bit too long to have this funeral. This funeral probably was actually had a few years ago. I just late to the party, or choice of words. It's the funeral for boxing. You know, people, will always say with the next generation that it ain't what it used to be. This sport or this industry used to be something back in the day. People will say that with basketball, it ain't what it used to be back in the day. Now people only care about money. They don't have any love for the game. They'll say that about movies. Like, movies used to be something, boy. They had some good scripts back in the day. Now everybody's remaking everything. So there's nothing new. Ain't what it used to be. Even relationships. Or people used to be in relationships. It used to be about love. Now it's about how to care for oneself and no one else. And same thing can definitely be said about boxing. Hell, I probably said it. I probably forgot about it. Boxing has been on life support, you could probably say, for decades. Every now and then, some fight will raise boxing from its ashes, and people will have hope in it again. Kind of like the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fights. Those three fights, I think, brought boxing back on its side. Put boxing back on the top for women. A heavyweight boxing, at least anyway. Put it back on top of people's conversations at the water cooler. But what it has turned into now, it used to be an event for gladiators. And now it's an event for clowns. Or I can just call it a circus. People are still watching, though. People went to coliseums to watch two gladiators or many gladiators get it on. And it's the same people are going to watch the circus because it's not top tier fighters fighting each other. What are you talking about? Is what people are probably wondering right now. Red, what are you talking about? I am talking about the news that Jake Paul is fighting Mike Tyson in July of this year. Jake Paul is, if I'm not mistaken, 27 in his 20s? And Mike Tyson, if he's not 58, will soon be 58 years old. You know how they say you should never meet your heroes? Well, you should never let your heroes fight past their prime. You remember, y'all probably don't remember because most people are not old enough, including me, Muhammad Ali, where he fought way past his prime against Larry Holmes. Again, I wasn't, old enough to appreciate Ali because I wasn't born yet. But going back to watch old footage, because I can do that, I can be a boxing historian, to watch Ali take that punishment. I understand grown men were crying watching that. Not saying Mike Tyson's Muhammad Ali, but hell, I grew up with Mike Tyson. I couldn't wait to watch a Mike Tyson pay-per-view, man. Shoot, I know as a kid I cried when I missed a couple of pay-per-views that he did. Just wanted to see him knock someone out. I don't know if that's an issue with me to see violence like that when I was only 5, but be that as it may, that's what I like to watch. Jake Paul is not a legitimate fighter. I've watched one pay-per-view with him. It just seemed staged. Well, let me change that. I've watched one pay-per-view live. Other ones I kind of, did some illegal stuff to, which I will not mention, to watch the fight in after hours. And they all seemed staged. Seemed like they were scripted, kind of like WWE, which his brother is a part of, if I'm not mistaken. So they know about that world. I watched the Roy Jones and Mike Tyson fight, and people were so hyped about that. I'm like, wow, two generational talents get to come into one ring and prove who's actually the best between each other. Roy Jones gets knocked out by a feather punch now. He can't take punches more. I don't know what his brain is looking like nowadays. Probably like sour mashed potatoes, because he's been knocked out so many times since he came out of his prime. So to me, I think people were looking to see if this guy was going to go to the hospital or hospice. But to look at the fight, no one took any damaging hits to the head because it was talked about. It was scripted. Mike Tyson was just doing body shots. Now, I can say those body shots didn't hurt because Roy Jones talked about how bad his ribs hurt after the fight. But I came to see a fight. I didn't come there to see Greco-Roman wrestling with a few punches here and there. It was scripted. All these fights have pretty much been scripted, except the only one which I said I did watch, Jake Paul and Nate Robinson. I don't know if that was scripted. Now, it can be scripted in a different way where somebody says, hey, I'll pay for you to take the fall. You just get knocked out. It could be done that way. I can't prove that. Because Nate Robinson took a big hit, which was embarrassing, which is another thing. It's like I said, it's like they're just to see regular Joe Schmoes fight and embarrass themselves. And that he did. And I hope he got a good payday for that, because that fight and that knockout will live in infamy for the rest of his career. People have forgotten that he was a dunk champion, Nate Robinson, after that fight. But I don't want to see stuff like this, man. I want to see a real boxing match. There'd be no reason why get into a fight that happened last night where we don't see a Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight happen. What is taking so long for that? And speaking on that, another, you could say celebrity match or a meeting of the worlds between UFC and boxing. Anthony Joshua fought Francis Ngannou. That was embarrassing. This dude got knocked down 3 times, knocked out the 3rd time. And I don't mean just like, he got knocked down, he couldn't get up for the 8 count and just kind of laid there for a little bit. The dude was dead before he hit the ground on that 3rd hit, that 3rd knockdown. It was devastating. It was like one of the worst knockouts you will ever see. And I knew people were going to be hyped for it just because of what he did against Tyson Fury. You know why I know it's a clown show? Because Tyson Fury thought it was a clown show. And you can debate whether Francis won or Tyson Fury won. It was close, but Tyson Fury was out of shape. Tyson Fury didn't take that fight serious. That's why the fight was even close. That's why most people thought the fight was not going to go the distance. And if it did, he was just going to play around with him. And if Tyson Fury was in the shape that we know he can be in, like he was with Deontay Wilder, the fight would have ended early. Tyson Fury didn't take it serious. Now, be that as it may, Francis didn't have any boxing experience as far as the professional level, and he still did, I guess, a good service for UFC to show that it maybe could compete slightly, but you only can compete slightly against someone who was grossly out of shape. This dude was flaunting his beer belly at the pay-per-view pre-shows. He didn't take it seriously, and he almost lost because of it too. Almost got embarrassed. And maybe boxing covered him from losing because they know how embarrassing it would have been. But I knew if Tyson Fury was in shape, that wouldn't have been a fight. I even believe Deontay Wilder, if he fought Francis with Deontay Wilder's limited ability in the ring, he would have killed Francis. And Francis Ngannou, he did that for him because he has no business belonging in a boxing ring with professionals at the top of their craft. It was a circus. And you probably will never see Francis make it to the top of the circus now. I don't know what that would be. The tightrope walker, the guy that beats the line with the whip. I don't know what the top, a clown. Yes, I guess that would be a clown. They're the top of the circus, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, back to this fight. What is the pros and cons for Mike Tyson to even do this fight? I don't think there is a pro for him besides getting the bag, of course, because that really is what it comes down to. And I guess all boxing matches come down to the bag, but still, there was a bit of meritocracy involved in it because it's about proving who's the best fighter in the world. I'm not sure what this proves for Mike Tyson. It's almost like if he was in a fight with a woman. You beat the woman. Oh, you only beat up on a woman. You lose to a woman. Oh, I can't believe you lost to a woman. You beat Jake Paul. I know a lot of people hate Jake Paul. You're like, well, I mean, it's Jake Paul. What do you expect? He's not the top of his field. He's not a great boxer. And if he loses to him, wow, Mike Tyson lost to Jake Paul. How embarrassing. People keep forgetting this man is 58. People will always show these old clips when Mike Tyson was in his 20s and 30s or whatever, when he was knocking people out left and right. Mike Tyson still lost to some fighters in his 30s. He lost to Evander Holyfield twice. Lennox Lewis once. A couple other fighters after that. Buster Douglas, let's not forget that debacle. So he's not invincible. That was in his prime. 58. He should be collecting an AARP card by now, or just enjoying retirement. He's close to retirement age. Not that he needs it because he has enough money that he doesn't have to live off of Social Security like the rest of us. So why is he really doing it? Pride? I don't know. It's the same thing why Evander Holyfield fought Victor Belfort. He was 58 when he fought him. Got TKO'd in the first round. It was sad. Sad. Dude could barely move. Just live off of what you had in the past. What is this need to prove yourself at this age to show that you can be a YouTuber? It's not a big deal. Jake Paul, it's all pros for him. He loses, he gets the bag. He wins, he gets the bag, and he can brag to people going forward that he beat Mike Tyson. That's going to be a notch in his belt for the next pay-per-view for the circus that's about to happen. Oh, I beat Mike Tyson. I dare challenge anybody who wants to fight me. Will you fight Tyson Fury? No. Will you fight Tyson Fury's little sister? Yes, I will fight her. He's not going to fight any real in their prime boxers because he knows you're going to keep buying these pay-per-views. Me, I'm going to find it illegally, wink, for free, or I'm just going to watch the highlights afterwards. But I'm not paying for this stuff anymore. It's not worth it. You guys got to stop paying for this stuff or they will never go away. I thought it would go away after the first few fights when people claimed some of these knockouts or the end of these fights were scripted. I'm like, okay. But then I thought about it. Don't we watch WWE? I do. So why would it go away? So at this point, I doubt it ever will. As long as there's some sort of celebrity out there or some sort of basketball player or UFC guy or even a politician maybe coming up soon that wants to try his skills out in the boxing ring, somebody's going to pay for it. It doesn't matter if the guy is 72 years old and has had 3 heart transplants. People want to see it happen. They want to see if his heart's going to explode on the pay-per-view. That disgusts me. Anyway, that's my video. I just want to give my quick opinion about that. And I want to hear what you guys think about it. Do you think this is the death knell to boxing as a respectable sport, or has boxing been dead for decades? Leave your comments and don't forget to hit the subscribe, like button, and I will see you on the next thing we talk about for the last rewind. Peace.